In a negligence claim, the plaintiff must show that the defendant breached his or her duty of care. A plaintiff may use either direct or circumstantial evidence to prove what happened. Circumstantial evidence doesn't directly prove what the evidence seeks to establish, but instead allows a jury to make inferences. In Clark v. Kmart Corporation, the Michigan Supreme Court considered how much circumstantial evidence was necessary to avoid a directed verdict. Annie Clark and her husband visited a superstore owned by Kmart Corporation. As Clark entered the store through a closed checkout lane, she slipped on several loose grapes scattered in the lane, injuring herself. Clark sued Kmart for negligence. At trial, Clark argued that the grapes had been on the ground long enough to put Kmart on constructive notice of the hazardous condition. To support this argument, Clark's husband testified that he saw smashed grapes and footprints leading away, indicating that several grapes had been stepped on prior to Clark's fall. And a Kmart employee testified that the checkout lane had been closed for roughly an hour before Clark arrived. However, there was no direct evidence that a Kmart employee was actually aware of the grapes. During trial, Kmart moved for a directed verdict, arguing that the evidence was insufficient to support an inference that it should have known about the grapes. In defending against the motion, Clark relied on a case with similar facts, Ritter v. Meyer. The trial court denied Kmart's motion. The jury returned a verdict in Clark's favor. Kmart moved for a judgment notwithstanding the verdict on the same grounds, which the trial court also denied. The Court of Appeals reversed. It declined to follow Ritter and held that the trial court should have granted a directed verdict. Clark appealed to the Michigan Supreme Court.